In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can sell your piece of land in as little as 2 days. Most people think it's hard, but it's really very simple. It's just different than selling houses. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 different strategies on how to sell land very quickly. And at the end of it, you will know exactly how to do this. And stay tuned for the end because I got a little surprise for you. Selling land. There's this myth out there that selling land takes a long time and that land doesn't move and things like that. And nothing could be further from the truth. What happens though is that this myth has come up because most realtors don't know how to sell land. Let me therefore share with you exactly the 3 ways of selling land in a matter of days. First of all, let's get started. Most land is divided into 3 kind of classes. Number 1, it's either land in the city, which is typically called infill lots, meaning think about a street, 35 houses, 1 empty lot. Or land that is outside of the city, and I like to break that into 2 different classes. One is what's called the path of growth, which is land that's just outside of the city, anywhere from right after the last development to about 50 miles outside, where the city is growing, where you're in the vicinity of the city, but you're outside of the city. And then the other one is like what we call recreational acreage, mini farms. Like basically think about 40 acres out there, 2 hours away from town, that you on the weekends you go up there, take your RV or ATV out there, or nowadays with the technology that exists, you can actually have solar and you have satellite dishes and things like that, and you can have full internet reception out there and stay more than a weekend and actually stay for longer periods of time, work from home, and so on and so forth. All of these ones are very simple to sell. The first way and the fastest way to sell these properties is to actual people that already live in that same area. Now think about that. You live in an area and you love it. And let's say you have built a house in that neighborhood and there's a whole bunch of empty lots. So you end up falling in one or 2 categories of the people. Category 1, you love it so much that you would love for your parents to move into the area, your brother to move in the area, your buddies to move into the area. So when another lot comes up for sale, you're going to be the first one to either buy it or you're going to call your cousin, your brother, all the family members that you want to move close by, and you're going to tell them, hey, there's another lot for sale here, so why don't you guys check it out? It's a great price and so on. So in other words, one of the best people to sell the property to is the neighbors. Now nobody thinks about that in the housing world, because if you have a house, it's a $500,000 house, and another house comes up for sale down the road, most people don't have the money to just buy that other house. But good realtors apply that in the housing world too. They send you flyers. They say like, hey, this house is for sale. It's in the neighborhood. Do you know anyone? Because even there, if you have really good friends and your kids are best friends and you know they're looking, you can let them know that there's a house for sale. So it works with houses and land. It's the exact same thing. But in land, it's not as obvious, because people think like, well, why would I want to send a letter to the neighbors letting them know that this lot is for sale? They already have a piece of land. Well, guess what? What if it's an up and coming area? What if the prices in that area are shooting up and the people that own the land know that? Wouldn't those people want to buy more land in the area to in order to ride up that wave even faster? Exactly. So going after the neighbors is a great strategy. Now, the second category that as a neighbor you might fall into might be the exact opposite. You love, let's say if it's an area where there's very few houses, most of it is open land. You love the fact that it's open land. So when a new lot comes up for sale, you want to buy that lot just so that nobody else builds on it. And guess what? As land wholesalers, having done over 4,500 deals, going on 5,000 deals, we find both is true. We find just as many people that say like, oh my God, yeah, I love this area. I want my parents and my family members to also move here. So yeah, let me buy it for them, or let me refer you to them and they'll buy it. As we find people that say like, oh, I love this here so much, I don't want anyone to move here anymore. Let me buy up everything I can to prevent people from moving here. Bottom line though is, in both cases, the neighbors are a fantastic source to think. And our typical students, as we coach this and teach this, sells about 1/3 of all their lots to the neighbors. How cool is that? Another benefit of selling to the neighbor is that the neighbors are ready to buy right away. They don't wait along. They feel the need. They're like, oh my God, this is a lot. It's in my neighborhood. It's exactly what I wanted. And boom, they jump right on it. So it's a fast sales strategy. The second way to sell your land really fast is by making it convenient for people to buy. So let's say you have a $100,000 lot that you want to sell. How many people are out there that have $100,000? Not that many, right? So what if you could take that $100,000 lot, let's say you got it under contract for $25,000. What if you could offer seller financing on that lot? Would that be cool? Let's go to the numbers. So if you put that lot up for $100,000, cash, nothing, you don't offer any seller financing, chances are that lot's going to sit there between 6 months and 12 months before it sells. So the myth of land moving slow is true if you don't do anything about it. But what we like to do in a scenario like that is we like to take that property, mark it up, sell it at $100,000, but then say, you can buy this property today if you're willing to just give me a $25,000 down payment. It's only 25%. It's not that much. Because keep in mind, if they go to a bank will not lend them money on land. Even if they have the greatest relationship with a bank, even if they give you a loan on land, which usually they don't, but even if they do it, they will never give you more than 50%. If you sell this piece of land for $100,000, and even if somebody had a loan from a bank, they would still have to come up with $50,000 cash and they get a $50,000 loan. So again, it's mostly unaffordable for most people. But by you saying, hey, just give me $20,000 or $25,000 as a down payment, you're now opening up the buyer pool, because way more people have the ability to go get a cash advance on their credit card, or get money from their bank, or use their 401k or something like that to pull money out and get to a $25,000 down payment. And then the remaining $75,000, you allow them to pay you in monthly payments in what's called an installment sale contract. So you become the bank and you now get money from that. The beauty of that is that not only do you get to sell that property at full market value of $100,000 compared to a wholesale where you might have had to then sell it for $50,000 or $60,000. So you make way more money because you're selling it for more. But the other benefit is that you on top of it get to charge interest on it. And now in combination, that $75,000 loan that they're paying off in monthly installments, they'll actually pay you $150,000 over the next 10, 15 years as they pay this off. So you're doubling, tripling, quadrupling the money that you're making on such a deal. The most important factor is that by actually allowing them to just give you a down payment, you open up the buyer's pool. You have so many more buyers available to buy this that the speed of sale speeds up massively. For example, one of our students got a deal, like lakefront property, beautiful property. He got it on a contract for $8,000. He listed it for $60,000 and he could just not get a sale. The moment he added seller financing on it and he only said, hey, just give me 15% down, which is $9,000, it sold in a week. That's the difference between listing the property with no ability to seller finance or offering seller financing. It was sitting on the market for 3 months before he changed his mind and said, okay, I'm going to offer seller financing now with 15% down. So literally 1 week later, he got a deal signed up. He got a $9,000 down payment. Now he had it on a contract for $8,000. So he got more as a down payment than he actually had the deal under contract with, which means he paid $8,000, got $9,000 back. He had all his money back plus $1,000 in the pocket. And then this person started making monthly payments of about $400 for years and years and years to come. That's the beauty of seller financing. It speeds up your sale dramatically. Third, it's the quality of your listing. Now, you can list your properties anywhere out there, but the problem is that most land listings simply suck. Realtors are not trained on how to list land. So as a result, they don't know what to do. They're trained on listing houses. So they know how to get a house properly done. They know how to get a house staged. They know how to get the proper pictures taken. They know how to do a broker's open and all these kind of things. But none of these things work for land. So instead with land, what you need to actually do is you sell what you can do with the land. You got a dream built with the land. Nobody wants to buy a piece of dirt. What people want to buy is what you can do with. So we follow a strategy that's called AIDA. Strategy AIDA stands for A is the first letter, stands for attention. We start our listing with a attention-grabbing headline. Like something, for example, 2 acres, lake views, 40% below market. Something that immediately everyone jumps into. Or if it's designed for a retiree, we say perfect retirement spot. All utilities, 5 minutes from church, groceries, and restaurants. 25% below market. You add that into your headline, every future retiree that is looking in that area is going to jump on it, because what they're looking for is a piece of land that is somewhere outside of the city, but that is not in the middle of nowhere. They're looking for it to be a few minutes away from perhaps the next church, the next grocery store, the next restaurants, and some social life that they can enjoy. Boom, right there. Next thing is description. You describe the property, but you don't describe it by saying there's 3 trees and a building spot and things on there. No, they describe the property again. This property is perfectly located on a paved road with utilities. Check, check, check box for the buyer. And it is within 10 minutes of Lake XYZ, within 5 minutes of the grocery store, 5 minutes of the church, and you describe it both in words and pictures. Then what you do is you then say, hey, this property is worth $50,000, and you show some comparables to it. But right now you can get it for just $29,900, or you can even pay us just $10,000 down and finance the rest. Now you just made it an absolute incredible, irresistible offer that will fly off the shelves. And when you do that, you guide people from, ooh, this is interesting. So, oh, it checks all my boxes. Oh yeah, I like this. Oh my God, it's affordable. On top of it, I can do seller financing. Let me jump on this opportunity today. So right there are 3 ways that you can sell your property and your piece of land very, very quickly. Okay, and here's my surprise. You don't actually have to figure out how this works. We have it all laid out for you. Just simply go to landblueprint.com and download your exact 30-day blueprint to land success. It'll show you exactly how to create those listings, how to lay it all out. It's one amazing process. Download it right now.